I am on mute. I was on mute. All right. We'll try that again. Man, it's been a long time since I've done that. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. Yes, welcome to the last live stream. Sorry, the last cooking live stream of 2021. We are going to do another stream day after tomorrow where we decorate some gingerbread houses. But this will be the last cooking stream for the year. And to that end, I thought we'd make something of it. Bao buns are probably the most requested, and whenever I talk about cooking, people ask me, it comes up a lot. It's like, can you make bao? Do you make bao? How do you make bao? Making bao is actually pretty easy, so we're going to do that. It's one of my favorite dishes to make. So we will make some bao, sticky bao. This works obviously with pork. You could use any meat. I'm going to use tofu this evening. And then we will also do some stir-fried Asian greens. We've got some wombok and bok choy as well. We'll do a quick pickle with some red onion and carrot, and then we will also do some rice on the side. So pretty, three dishes that you'll be full by the end of it. But the first thing is the dough. So bao dough is not particularly complicated, and I would say maybe 2 hours is about the minimum time you would want to be setting aside for something like that. So we are going to get this started right now so that it's got time to prove and then to rise. So we'll get that on the go before we do anything else. Just so that we've got enough time at the end of the stream, and I've just got to make sure I've got enough room. There's a lot of recipes for bao dough. This is a pretty simple recipe. I mean, all dough is simple, I've decided. I'm measuring tonight. I was talking last night that I've sort of abandoned making measurements for cooking bread. These days I don't measure anything, but with this I will. We'll put the recipes into Discord. I'm going to halve the recipe because I'm only cooking for 2 tonight. And the key thing I think is that you just want, we're just going to use plain white flour for this. I think the key thing for me is it's a little bit sweet, is the dough. So all other things being equal, just a touch of sweetness in there is probably the key thing. If you're starting out first, so don't be afraid of adding the sugar. So and this will probably make, I mean, it depends how big you make your bao, but this will make a fair bit of dough. I reckon you would, if you're serving this with something else, this volume you would get away with serving 3, maybe even 4 people, depending on what you're doing. So that is 2 cups of flour. We want a tablespoon of caster sugar. Actually, this is just normal white sugar. I don't think caster sugar and just fine grain white sugar makes any difference in this, but we do want a generous teaspoon of that. And then, just make sure I've got it all. Just a touch of salt, and this is where the sweetness comes into it, so we're not, I'd say like a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe not even that. In fact, I'm not going to measure it. And yeast. Yeah, yeast will be the next thing here. Where's my yeast? A teaspoon of yeast. But before I put it in, I'm gonna follow this recipe, and then when we get to the end of this, I'm going to review it and probably rewrite it, because I think I've got a step in here that's not totally necessary, and I'm always looking to reduce the amount of effort in a recipe. Just finding, it's little things that don't add anything except for time that I'm always sort of trying to track down here. Right, so there's our dry ingredients. You've seen them all before. And then for the liquids, we are going to do 100 mils of milk, roughly. You could do more. In fact, I find the sweetness of full fat milk, is this full fat milk? The sweetness of milk helps a lot as well. So you could swap the water component of this and just stick with the milk. But we'll go ahead here with 50 mils of water, roughly. That's probably 50. And then 50 grams of butter. That's the other thing. It gives you a little bit of a slickness to the whole proceeding. And I will measure this, weigh it rather. I need a knife. Yes, so looking forward to doing the gingerbread house. I'm gonna have to do a bit of planning on how best to actually set the cameras and the microphones up for 2 people. This is roughly 50 grams. Oops, wrong location there. That goes into the milk. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the liquid in the microwave and start letting the butter melt. But we don't want to go over the top, so pretty low heat. Or low power, I suppose. It doesn't have to be completely liquefied, but I do want it fairly soft. I might even just chop it up a little bit. And then the only ingredient that I do have some very sad looking coriander, which we will we'll pair out for the good from the bad and use that as part of the garnish. We'll get as much of it as we can. Yeah, coriander is definitely something that I need to be growing. So start that sooner rather than later. So while that's going on, what we're going to do is continue to battle with this hob. During the downtime, I'm going to completely take this apart and I don't know, do something to it, because it's really not consistent. We're going to toast some sesame seeds in the meantime. Cool. And actually, I'll get some 5 spice out, I feel. Or do I have, or just, you know, Chinese 5 spice somewhere? I've got every other spice. I think dried spices is kind of like gear acquisition syndrome. You know, you buy it all and you use it once or twice. But that said, it's when you need it and you've got it to hand. You don't feel too bad about it. Alright, so this is all I need from the liquid. It just needs to be a little bit warm, which it is. It's quite warm here today. You know what, I'm actually going to give it another bit of a boost temperature-wise, just to make sure we don't leave ourselves short. And then just a dash of olive oil. I'm not sure how necessary this is. I think I would even sort of up the butter a little bit rather than use olive oil. But that's what I've got in this recipe, so we're just going to go for it. Dry meat's wet. And we put this in the KitchenAid with the dough hook, and then we knead it until it's smooth. You can adjust it, and I probably will adjust the flour, depending on how moist you've made your mix. Yeah, I'm gonna add a bit more. Camera is not the right. Cool. Yeah, I need to set up a microphone mute button, I feel. Keeping an eye on the sesame seeds. A toasted sesame seed is something that will creep up on you when you least suspect it. You've only got a couple of seconds before it all goes horribly wrong. Cool, alright. So that's pretty much there. I'm going to turn the heat off and let just the residual heat of the pan just do a little bit more cooking. And dough is pretty much ready as well. Hello.
Hi.
It's Shelby. Have you finished for the day?
Pretty much.
Oh.
I heard you talking about gingerbread.
Yes. Got to work out the logistics of recording two of us at the same time. Mm. It's going to be a Christmas miracle, I think you'll find.
I need to research.
Some grand designs.
Yes.
One thing that had occurred to me, so I saw on River Cottage they were using those really thin after dinner mints as the shingles for the roof.
Yes.
So that is a cool idea. I like that. Cool. Okay, dough is combined. The next step is, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, if you're using pork or meat, but probably especially pork, we're going to be poaching, normally you'll be using pork belly, poaching that in, I guess a spicy stock. We're using tofu this evening. I'm going to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to grate some of it up as well, just messing with the texture. But this is the step that would take probably a couple of hours if you had raw pork belly and you needed to cook it. This won't take very long. Tofu doesn't take flavor nearly as well as animal protein, but it does make a difference. And I also use some of the poaching broth to make the sticky glaze at the end as well. So we're going to do that. And to do that, it's going to be, yeah, well, let's go over to the dang stovetop. So about 2.5 cups of stock. And I don't have any homemade stock on me, I'm afraid.
That's disappointing.
I know. You're telling me. So it's a bit of a compromise. So ginger, half a tablespoon of ginger, half a, I'll say like 2 teaspoons of garlic. If you're using minced garlic, you could use a bit more. Then we want sugar and rice wine vinegar as well. And it's at this point I'm also going to put some of the Chinese 5-spice into this liquid. Ginger, quite a bit of garlic, where's my half a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. A new bottle. I hate these little jigs. And a bit of sugar. And you can once you've set it up, you can adjust it. You're not the bulk of this. You're essentially just flavoring whatever protein's in the pot. So you can be pretty flexible in this. And this is where I'm going to add the 5-spice too, which I put somewhere handy. Maybe an 1/8 of a teaspoon. I reckon I would put 5-spice at sort of good cayenne pepper level of where this is a spice that you can underestimate quite easily. And then live in regret. Let's get a spoon and just get a picture of where we're at. That's good. That's good. Just a touch more sugar, I reckon. No, that's pretty spot on for eyeballing it. So we're just bringing that up to heat, and we're going to talk tofu. So use the whole thing, I suppose. Yeah, like I was saying before, I want to mess around with the texture, because so we will fry this afterwards. But I found mincing it just with a knife, which I will do for some of it, but I want to grate some of it, I've decided. Not a huge amount, I'm just screwing around here. But I just for the, because I think, you know, when you get pork belly that has been cooked very well and starts to fall apart, you don't, it's especially with firm tofu, it can be quite difficult to get, you know, an approximation of that texture. And so I just want a little bit of it grated like this, and then the rest I'm sort of gonna just roughly chop and then mash up. I did think about putting it into a blender or a food processor and waz it for a little sort of unevenness as well.
You know what we need? We need pens, icing pens.
Icing pens.
Kind of like coloured glitter glue or whatever. How you can get it in like a pen.
Oh yeah.
You can get that for icing. I think we need that.
I think
it to be a success.
I think you're right.
That's what my research is telling me.
Okay.
I did actually try to get some. Maybe I did. You would have seen it if I got some.
Yeah, I would have. Were we looking at them the other night? Or maybe because I was talking to Seb about grout pens.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you'd want to be eating them. And I did have a look for some grout pens today at Bunnings, but I couldn't find any. Also couldn't find hot glue of the appropriate gauge for my hot glue gun, so that's annoying. I'm putting that down to the global supply chain troubles. Okay, I have more than I need. So I'm going to separate some and containerize it and use it for something else. It's a good collection of sprinkles.
I've got an idea.
Oh.
But it is going to require a little pen of some kind.
Oh. Yeah, I've got some ideas too.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But if we don't have Robbie, how are we going to, how do we know
The stream.
the stream? Chat
We're
will,
going to need to have a poll.
alright. Chat will decide the winner.
You could have a poll in Discord actually. Yeah.
Yep. And then do we have a prize? Oh yeah. That'd be good.
What's the price?
The prize is Christmas cheer.
Yeah, that's right. Christmas joy.
Yeah. Okay. Tofu goes into the broth, I'm calling it. I need a better name.
Barbara. Or is this Val?
Yep. So really at this stage all we're trying to do is flavour the tofu. Impregnate it, if you will, with flavour. Did I didn't. I'm going to reserve some of this broth once we're done and use it in the glaze. But I don't need to do that just yet. Stupid camera. Okay, what am I missing? All right, I'm going to need the dough more, and you don't need to listen to that, so we'll go BRB. While that happens, we will rejoin you very shortly. Presently.
First taste.
Serve it forth. returned.
Game on!
Game on. Bow on. I'm going to put the dough in a plastic bag. And I might even leave it in a sunny spot. Okay, let's make a quick pickle. So it seems to me, or at least where we eat bao, carrot, red onion, and cucumber sticks are the key things you want on top of your bao. The cucumber, the carrot and the onion are the key things to pickle. And I quite like, I actually haven't done for a long time a long pickle. We will do some pickling, and we're going to do some oil flavoring at some point with all the herbs from the garden. But I think a quick pickle in this context works better because you still get crunch, you still get a bit of that raw.
And it's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's my motivation. And the quick pickle, we're talking basically 1-to-1 salt, sugar and vinegar. Roughly. Whoa. So I'm going to put however much sugar that is to that much rice wine vinegar. Could be any vinegar, it just needs to be acidic. What did I try last time? The sake, which is a bit acidic but primarily alcoholic, that didn't work as well last time.
It was alright though.
Yeah, it was fine. But we're going.
It was sake.
Yeah, it was alright. Bit of Asian ingredient humour there for you.
Puns.
Yeah, puns. I was trying to work out how I'd add soju into that, but I failed.
So do you recommend using
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Chief pun master over here.
puns in the background? Doing all the puns.
It's funny.
Why are puns so fun?
I don't know.
They really make you think.
I do. And laugh.
It's one of the modern wonders of language.
Well, maybe I think the pun, like the sort of dad joke, maybe that sort of calls back. Well, I guess it depends if you had a good childhood or not, but like there's a nostalgic sort of association with dad jokes. The lameness of it isn't the interest in it. Maybe is more harking back to simpler times
Yeah.
when a joke like that could be funny
Yeah.
for some reason because you're a stupid kid, and then it's like, yeah,
You're a stupid kid.
I am. I'm just a
Stupid kid.
stupid kid with more money than previous stupid kid used to have
No, you don't have to ask permission
to buy a Warhammer
to. Yeah.
or trains. It's basically how it goes.
I would agree.
Yeah, I was looking at some old Games Workshop catalogs, and we used to take them like when we on school holidays or to sleepovers or camping even, I remember, and just like looking at each one of these things and like just knowing it was impossible for me to buy even just one. Because yeah, back then $20 was a serious proposition. Not anymore. Well, I mean, depends how you look at it, I suppose. Actually, haven't done much painting for a while.
You're about to.
I'm about to. We will most likely do some live streaming of the big build for the Magic Railway.
Right.
I
Someone
think,
was asking me if you would stream it.
yeah, the only reason I haven't, and like for other things, is because up until the point where you start to like paint it and flock it, it's kind of like just looking at a mess of foam and glue for hours at a time, and I'm not sure how interesting that really is. And it's kind of like, if you don't know where it's going, it'd be kind of hard to, I don't know.
I guess you're just picking a specific focus for the stream.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do the trees, or this is how I'm gonna paint the people, or put the people.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah. So I think once I've got the bulk of the terrain down, like the substrates and stuff, I would then probably at that point then start streaming it. Because also there's a lot of like drying time and waiting around.
Yeah.
Yes. So we will see. And then also like it kind of, because it's quite large and struggling managing it in terms of space. And so is it maybe a little bit difficult to set the cameras up for it as well. We'll see. Just a bit more onion. Whoops. And then we'll get the rice on.
How long do you have to leave it quick before you can?
Not very long, I don't think. Maybe the longer the better, but I would say 30 minutes. I would try and leave it for 30 minutes at a minimum.
That is quick. In terms of a pickle.
Yeah. It is. Quick pickle. Ahoy. Still a bit off angle. Another thing in the new year is I definitely want wrong way. And an additional camera here, because like this is just nonsense having to use my phone every damn time. I just want some consistency in my cinematography, you know? Is that a crime?
No.
Is that too much to ask? I'm just gonna try some of this tofu to see if it's like taking much of the flavor up. Oh, it is. Okay. That's good. Okay. Now for the greens, we're talking some now pretty sad looking. They're still good, but they're coming to the end of their usefulness, I feel.
After they're like sauteed, but pretty much, you know.
Yep.
Same it.
Yep. I wouldn't at this stage. I probably wouldn't blanch these. They wouldn't. They don't have quite the crispy aspect to them that one comes to expect from such a method of cooking. And I am going to roughly partition the thicker, crunchier bits from the leaf, and we will sort of, stir frying, because we're only talking, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, getting the heavier stuff in first. Makes a bit of a difference. but you know, in a pinch, as they say, I wouldn't worry too much. I'm going to do it all, I think. And then whatever doesn't make it through will be compost. Compost is looking good. Having this the compost bin outside of the chicken coop means that I actually do have some compost that remains, and it's looking pretty good. I'm going to top it up. I think I'd like to borrow, potentially even buy a little electric wood chipper, because the amount of stuff that I could wise up and put in the compost is, yeah, I think it would be worth it. We will see. And having everything in place for your stir fry is critical. And actually, this sauce we don't have most of what I would normally use, so I'm kind of just gonna. It's a bit of a pantry raider kind of sauce this evening. But basically, we're talking soy. We're talking some sriracha, because that's the only other sort of pasty kind of sauce that I have at the moment. I'm not sure where my, yeah, I mean, obviously I must have used it. And then some sesame oil. We want a cornstarch slurry. For this amount, I'm probably, because I don't have much liquid, I'll do a tablespoon, and then we might, depending on how thick it goes, we might top it up with some stock as well. But really, the simplest version of this literally would just be with a bit of sesame oil and nothing else. Yeah, I think we're going to have to add some stock. Salty, spicy. I like it. Some sugar.
What is that again?
This is going to be the sort of the brown sauce that goes over the stir-fried veg. And then, yeah, so like I was saying, because this isn't meat, we're not doing this to cook the tofu, we're just essentially infusing it with flavour. So this would be a 2-hour proposition, but in this case, I'm going to turn the heat off at this point because it doesn't need to go any longer than that, in my opinion. In IMO. Cool. So I'm going to just reserve a little bit of this liquid, and obviously some tofu as well. Again, it doesn't really matter. Maybe just a touch more. and then drain the tofu out. I don't have a... And then we make the glaze. Glaze. And I think with tofu, especially doing this earlier, or letting it sit in the glaze longer, is probably going to be a beneficial thing. Alright, so what is this one? This wants... Oh, we get to use some honey that has just been harvested from the beehive. So that's exciting. Oh, actually, I think I'm gonna need to fry them. Okay, no, we'll do it separately. Just to get a bit of crispy texture on the, whoops, on the tofu. And I tend these days again just to eyeball it and then taste it as I go. And I think, I mean, it depends how saucy you like your bao stuffing. But I'll look for about just shy of a tablespoon of oil. I found also using, when you use pork belly, just the amount of fat that gets rendered out. I think this is probably, if you are ever concerned about it, you could certainly reduce the amount of fats and oils that go into it. And I think the first time I ever, or the second time I ever did this properly was, it was just swimming in oil or fat. It was just, it was a bit too much. This is how we learn. That's right. Probably a bigger pan would have been better, but it's too late.
So what Christmas movie are we going to watch tonight? What did we agree on first?
Yeah, something else as well.
Yeah.
Not not Hook. What's the other one that's...
Oh yeah, you said Hook.
Yeah, Hook.
Wasn't that jump? Yeah.
Yeah, the sort of 90s style Batman Returns.
Returns.
Yeah, that's right. That's, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd watch Batman Returns.
It's like, geez, it's hard to say with Danny Elfman, but I don't think you can go past that as a soundtrack. I think it's the best Batman movie, to be honest. Just full stop. And you know, movies set during Christmas but aren't about Christmas.
Yeah, well that's
how it's done.
That's free right there.
Yeah. I feel like there was something else though.
The new Home Alone.
Oh yeah, Home Alone. Oh, you said Christmas Eve for that.
Well, the new one I would watch before Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
But the original you can only watch that on Christmas Eve.
That's the rule.
That's my religion.
Mm-hmm. honey.
Yeah, the new one on Disney Plus.
Mm.
It's a little bespectacled fellow.
The nerd.
I
God.
wonder what Home Alone was like in the 21st century.
Why couldn't he have just texted his parents?
Well, exactly. So there's going to be a way that he doesn't have a phone or something. Or a computer to email them.
Yeah, maybe he
Or
used all
something.
his data. There's your 21st.
Actually, if that is not addressed in the movie, I will be outraged.
I'll be writing a review on Twitter. That's what I'll be doing.
Well, what could it be? There has to be some reason why he has no Wi-Fi and no...
And they don't have smart home cameras.
Unless they've gone on holiday to somewhere that doesn't have phone reception or Wi-Fi.
Somalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Maybe we should watch that one then.
What is it, the 20th? Yeah.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. This happens every year. And then I live in regret for the rest of the year, and then I make the same mistake again. Just want a bit more crisp on this. Some pepper. And then a little bit of MSG, I reckon. Or miso paste, actually, whatever you have handy. Because it wants to be real savoury, real sweet at the same time. A whole host of conflicting emotions. That's getting there. That's getting there. I like that.
You are amazing. Do you like Chinese food?
Do you like science?
Do you like China's food?
I do like China's food. Who are we talking about?
Edgar's.
Edgar's.
Edgar's milligram.
I can't see in the. Oh, sorry. There is a. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen. I do, Edgar. Thank you and welcome. We cook a fair bit of Asian food. I like it because it's, it's a combination of all your favourite things, and it's all generally quite light as well. I don't know, I've just always really liked.
Chinese flavours are good.
Yeah, Chinese flavours have got it
They're
right.
more savoury.
Yeah.
Comforting.
Yeah, but then you get, things like your sweet and sour. Yeah, I'll eat it all, frankly.
Well, out of all Asian cuisine, what would be your favourite?
I mean, I often say Japanese because I love sushi so much. But, I would say, because we don't have a huge amount, it's not a massively diversified Japanese cuisine in Australia. You can get your shabu, you can get your katsus, you can get your sandos.
Bentos.
So yeah, bento, and obviously that encompasses a fair bit of it, but it's kind of hard, that sort of skims off the top of the depth of what Japanese cuisine probably is, having not have been there. But Chinese cuisine, yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. What do you cook if you're still here? Yeah, I should pay more attention to my chat.
That's right, I'm paying attention.
I'll make you moderator.
I think that
Oh.
Thai would be my favourite.
Yep, Thai's up there. Definitely.
I like that they have noodles and fresh salads and stir fries.
I think the thing, yeah.
They've got more vegetarian options like Chinese. I guess you can make it up, and you can, but there's more vegetarian food.
at least here in Australia, it's generally like it's pretty predictable and it's all very.
Yeah, I guess what is the differentiating factor between the two? There may be more noodles, like pad thai and stuff, like it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of noodle action in Chinese cuisine, but I think I think originally, like as a child, loving rice so much, led me down that way. But it's not like any of these Asian or Southeast Asian cuisines don't have rice or noodles.
Yeah. They definitely do them differently, though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely the Southeast Asian cuisine seems a lot lighter to me, at least how it's made here in Australia.
Yeah, it seems lighter.
Yeah, but that just could
More
be.
use of like limes as well, like whereas Chinese doesn't really have lime.
Yeah, more sort of subtropical and tropical
Yeah.
flavors, the fruits as well. Where China, you have, I would call it a heavier cuisine. But I'll eat anything, to be honest. Speaking of which, what are we doing? So this is our glaze. That's good. I want just a bit more soy. I think if you've not used MSG before in sauces like this, because you get the word sodium in it, and you think, well, this is it's a salt of glutamate. It doesn't oversalt things. That's where so you get the umami from it. But you whack in a whole bunch, a teaspoon worth of MSG versus salt, and it's nowhere near as salty. So that's something to be aware of. So we'll go over here and we'll actually just get right into it. Kind of makes this taste a little bit, if I had some of the chili, like a bean paste or a bean component of this is tasting like Mapo tofu. A bit. Cool. Let's rinse some rice. Whoa. We'll rinse that and we'll get it on right away, and then we're just really it's going to be about just keeping an eye on the dough for the bao. And keeping the pace up that way. Smelling pretty good already. I think given how much jasmine tea I've been drinking recently and the jasmine rice, I actually don't like, well, I'm not like, when I smell jasmine, it's not like, oh, this is, my favorite flower smell while it's on the vine. But when it's mixed into tea or rice.
You like my jasmine music?
Jasmine, yeah, I like your jasmine music.
Yesterday.
It was quite sweet. I thought of
With
that.
some residual strawberry meringue in there.
Oh, Jasmine strawberry meringue. Smells like a dessert. Okay, rice goes on. You know, when I smell this glaze, I'm starting, you know, I can already picture that bao taste. Yep. Yep. Sweet. Ooh. I would like to do, if I was going to do another cooking course, maybe a dumpling course. And I think largely it's the presentation. I'm confident with the flavors. It's just when it comes to, apart from making the little money bags, I do struggle a little bit to make it look nice. Tastes good, but it doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying?
Did you like my prawn platter presentation today?
Yeah, it felt like I was at the club. Felt like Australian afternoon.
Yeah.
Thought I was in Brisbane.
It's pretty good. My parents would make us little prawn cocktails in glasses. We used to love them.
It's very 70s. Very Woman's Weekly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's too big. Turn everything smaller. The other thing I like about Chinese cuisine is how colors play a role. You know, obviously color plays a role in any cuisine, but there's a lot more significance, I think. I mean, especially if you compare it to Australian cuisine, or and you know, when I mean color, I don't mean, oh well, this is what a good seared steak looks like, or whatever. Just the combination of the, it's like the the Chinese, the fried eggs that we do, the green, the black, the red, the white is, I didn't know initially that it actually was supposed to mean something. We don't really do too much of that here. So that's fun to think about. I mean, I don't know what it means exactly anyway, but it's fun to think about.
That's like Korean food having such a thing, a focus on presentation.
That's like, yeah, because it's been a while, but say doing a bibimbap, I can do it, but yeah, the presentation of it, it's like where I fall down a little bit. What else? Bulgogi gogi. That's a classic. Haven't made that for a very long time. Actually, haven't had since I've been on holidays. I haven't really had much access to Korean food.
You might have to make some. I still really want to try gochujang,
Oh, yep.
the chili paste and stuff.
Yep. Maybe we can make some. Maybe we do a Korea week.
Maybe we need to grow some cabbages.
And we do a big kim.
Surplus.
I think Solon said he was growing cabbage. We can trade and barter. That's what I'd do. Okay, it's looking good. Glaze is reducing, so what we're going to do is grab the dough. It's rising quite nicely. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes, I reckon. And then we'll start rolling it out into the bowl shapes. Then they're going to rise again, not for nearly as long. But I think it's the second rising makes the difference. So we'll put this back in the sun. We'll turn the heat down on the glaze. Oh, should have done something that involved beetroot.
I'm gonna make a beetroot stew with that.
Yep, so we harvested. Oh, it's gone. But the first season's beetrooters have come good, and man, they smell good. They taste good as well. Really
Smell
quite.
like the earth, I believe.
They do smell like the earth.
That's what I heard.
That's what people say. Cool. All right, we'll go BRB, wait for the dough, and then we'll roll it out. And rice is good. Am I missing anything? No, that's ready. And this is the point that I was making at the beginning. This is really actually quite easy to do, really quite quickly, even though it seems like a lot. It's not. We shall return. Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokeball.
Yeah, is there a Pokemon that's just a bow? A pork-filled bow? I'd collect that Pokemon.
Jigglybow.
Porky bow. Okay. Ah, Taru, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to the land of the stream. What's the haps that side of the world? How's the oven? Has it settled in? It has been. I think this was, yeah, so this is the last cooking stream of the year, but day after tomorrow, Shelley and I are going to do a gingerbread building and decorating competition. And you guys get to decide who wins. Doing well, yes, thank you. Yep, winding down for the old year. It's been a tough one, especially the past couple of months. Just, yep, it's hard adjusting to not doing anything. I say. I reckon. I'm just going to taste this. I can't remember if you've ever been around for a bow stream, Taru. But we're experimenting with different types of tofu in lieu of pork. That, I just want a little bit more sugar in that. Yeah, I can recommend it. I don't know what's going to happen to me when I have to go back to work. It's going to be bad. But what can you do? Yep. Oh yeah. The banh mi. We were discussing the virtues of Southeast Asian cuisine just before. You know, I'm going to add a bit more honey. Oh, not banh mi. Banh bao. Have I ever had banh bao? Maybe not. We'll look it up.
I think that's similar to what we're having, isn't it? Like the quick pickle on it. For example, just like a banh mi. Like the meat with lettuce and pickle and coriander and stuff in a
Instead of
so this is just
bread.
Bao. Right.
I think so. Because the French connection there in all this Vietnamese cooking.
That's the banh mi.
Yeah, that's the bread component of it, I reckon.
Yeah. But this is just that in a bao.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Mm.
So I think that's what we're actually making.
I'd believe it. I'd absolutely believe it.
Oh, good.
Do you get much Vietnamese? I know you've mentioned the Japanese connection. Do you get much Vietnamese stuff where you are?
Oh no, it's got like a boiled egg in the middle.
Ooh. And you can see my feet, that's kind of gross. Let's move this back. Let's get the dough as well. Whitey. Oh, okay. I've not been. A friend of mine has recently returned. We do some work with a charity over there. It supports like orphanages for disabled kids. And but like Vietnam's never really been too high on my list of places to visit, and I could go over for that, but I don't know. There's a lot of other places that I would probably go to first. Yeah, okay. I mean the sort of colonial connection, because. I'll check it again, it's a while, but I thought, yeah, looking at the sort of the French colonial influence on this kind of the Vietnamese, and then obviously the war, It's not far away. Maybe. But COVID's a bit out of control there. And a lot of the stuff that we've people with the countryside, you know, I mean, it would be an experience, but perhaps a bit I was going to say harrowing. No, it's not. It's a real it's really annoying. That's okay. We'll just make the most of it here. Will you be travelling again, or are you sort of bunkered down? I'm gonna need more room to roll this stuff up. No. We went to the coast. Actually, I don't know if I posted any photos from our... that would be nice. But yeah, so what, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from here down to the coast into a little sort of cabin in the forest. Oh yeah, Peach Panther. It was good. It was good. Hang on, let's move this. Peach Fanta, Peach Kit Kats. Jess posted some photos of Kit Kats that you grill. She's spent time in Japan and China as well. That was, I can't actually remember where I picked it up, but it was good to see. It was quite a nice peach flavour. Oh yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, don't pressure yourselves into it. It's a yeah, because when I first went on leave, like all of a sudden the things that were recreational became an obligation, and so all of a sudden the thing that was fun was a chore. It's like, what the hell just happened? Like in a space of like 2 days, it went from. So yeah, don't. It's more like do it when the time is right. When the time is right. The garden, not tonight, but the garden is now in full swing. Do you have any photos of the farmlands or anything like that? You could do a live stream from a date palm grove. Okay, I think this is close to where I want it. Still just a touch salty. Let's go with a bit of sugar. And then perhaps a bit of pepper. And then I'm going to take the heat off. Take it off the heat. Turn the heat off. Just for the moment. Dates are finished now. We use dates. Oh yeah, so we did a medieval stream. So like Middle Ages, England or continental Europe, and so one of the desserts we did. So it was a rose. It's like a rose flavored custard or pudding. So rose water in this case, but we mixed chopped dates and pine nuts into it, and then as a garnish. It was really good. Genuinely surprised at how well that dish turned out. Hello, Sooty. Hello. Can I help you? I was wondering if the heat was going to like suppress his appetite, but apparently not. Okay, I like.
It's like Braveheart.
It does a little bit, but Chinese Braveheart. Maybe we'll have to watch Mulan. I think I've seen the cartoon like way back in the day.
I've certainly seen the beginning of it.
Because Eddie Murphy's in it. He's the dragon. It's weird. Oh, well, actually, I think so. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually, I'm just going to halve it. And this is the point where you can decide how big or small you want your bao to be. I can smell the dough is kind of like, I can smell a bit of the sweetness on it as well. It feels like how I want it to feel. It's light, it's a little bit oily, and that's what's going to help us give it, plus the temperature, we're going to get that sort of fluffiness to it. So, watch out, Sooty. Sooty. But we got some big bowls of candy for decorating the gingerbread houses. We've got the kits. So it's time.
Got the will.
We've got the will.
I got some ideas.
Shelley's been planning ahead.
I guess we can't do any prep beforehand, can we?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
Well, say if I wanted to sort some colours of these things.
oh yeah, I think we need to put them all in little that's why I got all the bowls, I reckon.
But like, I want to sort.
Oh yeah, definitely. I reckon so. Just like in the TV series.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more bowls.
Gonna need more bowls. Gonna need more room. Because watching the Disney, what's it called? Foodtastic, I'm gonna say. That Hey It's V was
Did you
on.
watch that already?
Oh, I haven't seen her episode. I've watched the first two, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like just pure Disney. Probably not the best show to be looking at for like instructional.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
It's a competition.
it's a yeah. But the amount of stuff that they have in that when the pantry or whatever gets revealed, it's like meh, and then everyone gets to run in with baskets, and so that's kind of what I'm picturing.
Oh yeah. But it'll be more calm.
Yeah.
It'll already be laid out in front of us.
Yeah. Hey, maybe this martini glass is perhaps the right size for a bigger bao. What do you think? How big do you like your bao? You like that?
Pretty good size.
It's a good size. It's a good size. Just hope to God I don't break it. It's quite warm, and now his mouth spends more time open.
And it's funnier because he's so black.
Mm,
You
right.
can't see his face properly. You can see this little mouth open.
It's a pink little tongue. You know what? Let's give it a spray. And so even halving this dough recipe, it feels to me like this is still just like I'll get 8 easily out of this, and that's more than what we need. So I'll refine this. I'll refine the writing of this recipe before I post it to Discord. Because yeah. You know what, I'm not going to fit them all on one tray unless I fold them over now. Would you like some wine or something?
A little bowl.
Little
Or two.
bowl. Put them there. Oh, smaller ones.
Not for just little sprinkles.
Oh, little sprinkles. Okay. Let me just do this one.
Actually, maybe glasses.
These two shallow, do you think?
I'll use glasses.
Oh. Work, work, work. I don't think Shelley's got any more work today, do you?
Not today.
Not today. Maybe not today.
As far as I'm aware.
Unless something goes horribly wrong.
That's correct.
That is correct. Yeah, so I think I'd like to... It kind of depends on how detailed the gingerbread cake is, on how I'm going to approach decorating it. Yeah, for sure. That's the soft and the sweetness is the key thing that I've been working on here. Because the first couple of times that I did it, it wasn't sweet enough, and to like really offset the sticky glazeness. So we will be steaming these for sure. And so this time around, I've put a bit more sugar in. Frosty Whips is here. It's just stopping by because his phone's basically dead.
Frosty Whips.
Frosty Whips. That's sad, but thank you for taking the time. Actually, yeah, I need to keep track of what I say. But, well, no, because like I think Frosty was like, yeah, I like dumplings. Like, well, I'll make some damn dumplings then. Yeah. All right, we're going for a bit more, 8. Someone's mowing. Just shut the door a bit. I reckon we've got, what have we been streaming for? 1 hour and 39 minutes. We have, I would say, about 25 minutes to go. This is my assessment. Because the stir frying is not going to take long at all. You know, now that I'm using this martini glass as a cutter, it makes me think that I actually should make a martini in it. That was ostensibly the reason why they were purchased.
A Bautini.
Martini. Vietnamese coffee. Actually, there's something, if you're still here, Taru. What do you think? Do you know the Vietnamese coffee? So like the slow drip on top of, and you have it with the sweetened condensed milk. That is incredible. That's actually something I haven't had for a while. And now that I've said it out loud, I'm going to change that. Oh yeah, I used to like, that was my go-to for years, I think. After I first got a bag of it, I was like, oh my god, this is... Because normally I don't have, like I have just flat white, so like coffee with milk, so not sweet. But then when I had this, and I love, who doesn't love sweetened condensed milk? Yeah, drank a lot of it. We do have quite a large Vietnamese community in Australia, obviously, and in Canberra in particular. It's not small.
I guess Sydney is.
Yeah, Sydney would be your next port of call.
You know what's harder than you think?
Sorting out sprinkles.
Yeah. By
Man-
colour.
Imagine the poor showrunner that had to do that for all the Disney competitions. Yeah, God. All right. I've got to get me some Vietnamese coffee. Did you have any with us? It's like the Vietnamese coffee, black coffee with the sweetened condensed milk.
I've had it before.
Mm.
I can't remember if we had it together.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Okay. Bao is now ready to rise. And everything else is ready to go. Okay, so we're going to give these 10 minutes or so, let them puff up for a bit. I'm going to turn the rice. And then we'll get on with it. You know what, I'm going to just cover them up a little bit and move them outside into the sun to expedite the process. Oh, that's not going to fit. Let's have a look. That'll be fine. All right, we'll give that 10 minutes. We'll clean up here and then we will cook it all together. BRB. You know what I think is oddly overpriced? It's bamboo steamers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
No, they were more expensive than what you. These ones are better. I should have got, yeah, probably. But what can you do? Oh, goodbye. Yeah, these ones don't match, which is. I'm just gonna have to use some foil or something like that. Yeah, or maybe the other way around. Actually, yes, that would be better. Okay, cool. Let's get the bow. Sweetie. So what we want to do is cut these up. You probably would want to leave these longer, but I haven't timed it as well as I could. But these are, you can see that they're rising, and once the steam hits them, we'll be fine. I tend nowadays to keep them on the baking paper, just for ease of, it doesn't have to be pretty. But just so that they peel more easily off the steamer than itself. And then the stir fry is only going to take, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And the challenge always is how many can we fit? Pretty close. I don't know if I'm going to get is there a smaller one? Let's just try in this. Yeah, Vietnam. So the orphanages, or the first orphanage we started working with is in Hong Phong. So these are southern. What I didn't know was how varied the Vietnamese accent can be between north and south. Like, it's genuinely some words sound completely different to me. But now the work is sort of extended further into central Vietnam. And then towards, like, it's moving up towards the north now as well, I think. But yeah, COVID sort of put the brakes on a lot of that. And normally I don't work with charities that are outside of Australia. It just seemed to me like it makes more sense to me to work locally. Because yeah, there's problems all over the world, all over the place. Sort of like get your own house in order first before. But this was such a not unique, but so very targeted and so very well managed that I thought, yeah, this makes sense. And just the dollar for dollar value that we get from the money that's sent there just is, you can track where every dollar goes. And because yeah, literally it's like, it's not a big charity, which was the other thing that interested me in the first place. Just try and get this under. because it's a pretty bad like combination, challenging combination. You have this mixture of communist and Catholic and Buddhist power structures, I suppose, that sit over a nation that's, you know, being ravaged by war, and is still emerging in terms of its economic strengths. And so you get caught in between those three very, very, I was going to say opinionated, sort of very structured, very different ways of looking at the world. And if you live in poverty and you don't have a family and you have a disability, you live with a disability, you're not going to be having too much fun. So that's why I thought, yeah, I'll help out on on that front. It's sort of too sad not to. Okay, so I reckon this goes on top. Yeah. Sweet. Looking good. So how are we going to do this? So we're going to have three things going at once here. We're going to get water boiling to steam this. We'll keep the tofu mixture warm, and then we'll also get the wok on. I feel like I need another stovetop camera actually, because I can only really focus in on one hob at a time. Let's get these on right now. Oh man, I almost dropped the bottom one. Get out of the way, camera. Oh. Okay. Well. Yeah. I need a bigger kitchen. Wok, we will heat, doesn't take very long to heat at all, and my little pot is not going to fit. Okay. Splash of vegetable oil. I don't think I need any more than that. What do I normally... Oh, they'll just come in the steamer. Yeah. It's made me tired. Another thing I really need to do is give this a laptop a pretty decent clean. I'm kind of impressed in a way. It's like how much oil and food and splashes of everything has this laptop gone through over the past like 9 months, and it still works. So. Warm these. I wonder of the virtues of swapping the bamboo steamers around halfway through cooking, because it does seem to me like if you stack them really high, obviously the top ones are not going to be copping as much, and then the bottom ones are going to get a lot more moisture. Haven't really been gamed or bothered, I guess, to try, because I don't normally have to cook stuff that's too much, more than 2 steamers deep. Part of the reason why I genuinely would like to work in a restaurant, not permanently, but just to get it's really getting a picture of the logistics, you know, from domestic to semi. That said, though, the local gastro pub that's just down the road from me, you know, talking to the owners there, it's like they just have like a domestic fridge and a domestic chest freezer because it's so small. I've had a look in their kitchen, and yeah, it's not too much bigger than what I'm cooking in here, and they will have 30 to 40 you know, covers in an afternoon. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a food puzzle. I'm not sure why I need to know that. I'll just say I'm interested in it. Cool. We're draining the pickle. Welcome back.
Thanks. It was Kimberly Slice.
Kimberly Slice? Why isn't she watching the stream?
Because she's just coming back from her first shoot.
Toot.
Yeah.
Nerd.
She started a new degree at university.
What?
Yep.
I didn't know this was happening.
Neither did I until just then. She got accepted to study psychology at Griffith University.
Oh.
On a part-time degree.
Jeez.
And she's just started, and she's got like a summer school style trimester.
Just
doing
like
a thing from 12 weeks to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like the first subject or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Undergrad. Yeah. Okay. Like a bachelor's.
Yeah.
The things that happen randomly in the afternoon.
That's right.
God, that'll take a while.
8 years.
Yeah. But I think, you know, 8 years, a lot can happen at that time, and so because when I, you know, studying part time, I've been able to choose to go in 1 or 2 more units, or just one. Sort of play it as it comes.
Yeah, well, I told her to talk to you if she needs any assistance.
Yep. I've written a number of essays in my time. Sweet.
Yeah.
What's the first unit?
What's the first unit?
As in, what's she studying? This, like, what's the first unit?
Well, I know the first thing that she's doing. She's writing a lab report about, like, the whole class did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's that classic thing where you read the colour and it's a different colour than what the word says.
Oh yeah.
And everyone in the class, it's called something effect. It's a kind of an effect, whatever it is. But the way that your brain instantly wants to read the word instead
Oh
of
yeah.
see the colour.
Right.
And so everyone in the class had to do it and record their results, and then they have to write a lab report about it. which is pretty cool.
Maybe we should look at words and colours and then submit them to Kimberly for analysis.
But yeah, because it's like this condensed thing. Like she's got to do that. She's got 2 exams, and then she's got something. Yeah, but I don't know what the subject of their overall unit is.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know the questions to ask because I don't know.
Well, we need to get her on this stream. Bloody quiz time.
Well, she was just getting dinner for the children, and she'll call me back.
Can you imagine being a parent and studying at the same time?
And working.
Oh!
Yeah, she's a bloody mad woman.
She's out of control.
She's following her dreams. Because last time we were talking, she knew she wanted a plan B, like for my parents getting rid of the business and whatnot.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what she decided she wanted to do, and then so it's good that she's made a choice. And then she applied and didn't even think anything of it, and she still got accepted.
Is it on campus or is it all remote?
Well, she can do everything remotely except the shoots. You can go to Griffith or there are recordings, but she lives, like we live right near Griffith University.
Yeah, I've never been to the campus. I'd like to go.
Yeah, I've been there before, a couple of times.
Maybe I'll study psychology.
It's like the only thing you haven't.
Yeah.
I don't need you studying psychology.
What's going on in that brain of hers?
You'll never know.
Well, I can make some educated guesses.
You already did that. But yes, that's exciting.
Yeah. What a turn of events.
I know.
Alright, we're pretty much... I'm just giving the bow a moment more to get extra fluffy. It looks pretty fluffy. Actually, I wonder if... No, it's too high. Yeah, I need a second camera for the hob. Well, actually, speaking of study, so I was looking at the food science degrees. And actually, I think Griffith delivers some of those units as well. Oh my God, can you imagine if Kimberly and I were like undergrad pals?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Be pals with Kimberly.
And if there was ever I got into a fight at the bar, I can just send her in to fight for me.
That's right. Because if you didn't know, she's also a Muay Thai fight champion. God, is there anything she can't do?
Let's find out.
She's a bloody.
A dynamo.
Yeah, she's a dynamo. She's an inspiration to us all.
It's a credit to her.
It's a credit.
That's red alert for Kimberly.
Woo!
Woo! But yeah, so food science, like nutrition, not that I care about that so much, but I was just looking at, if I wanted to, well, I mean, I do, but like develop recipes in a commercial context, like in a, it's that kind of degree that would lead into the
Donna Hay kitchen.
Yeah, in the Donna Hay kitchen or the whatever that
Could
one.
you imagine? That's career goals. You should get a job in like a celebrity chef's test kitchen.
Yeah, or like that one where she makes all the candies in the Skyrise.
Yes.
The Ferrero Rochers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claire.
Claire, I'll make Claire.
Claire Saffitz.
Saffitz. So that's.
Bon Appetit magazine, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Wow, she's making me feel pretty lazy.
Yeah. But has she worked every day for 4 months straight? Just ask her that.
As a mother, yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Which I'd probably argue is worse than what I do.
And I'd confirm it. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, at least I get paid to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's right.
But you make your own choices.
That's right, and you got to live with them.
Good on her.
I've taken to reducing the heat in the wok because I'm sick of cleaning the explosive garlic and ginger. It still happens, but you know, it's like the opposite of what I should be doing. But it just getting some of the water out before it gets insanely hot. Yeah, it's a compromise I'm willing to make, frankly. All right, so that's going to fry, and then we're going to go in with the slightly more solid veg, the leafy greens, the sauce, and then the slurry. It's go time. Cool. Now the sauce. I'm actually not sure I even need the cornstarch at this point. Turn the heat off. Turn the heat off everything. And we're pretty much good to go. All right. Need a little bowl for these. There's something about bok choy. So hot. Some big ass bao. And then rice.
I feel like we should Twitch stream me sorting out trickles.
Might be the new viral hit.
This is ASMR.
Yeah, I could put a microphone quite close to the little bowl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe you should just come and stand over here.
I will. Okay. Okay, I'll put the lid back on.
That's what they do in ASMR, you know.
I do. Now you need to lick some rubber. Erotic. Erotic cakes. That's some good sorting.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to this competition.
Me too.
All right. So, we're done. Bloody done. What did we end up with? Well, the key things here are we have our bok choy and choy sum in sriracha and sesame oil. Then we have the bao filling. So this is firm tofu. This normally would be pork belly, but this is in a spicy, sweet, sour glaze. And then we have the three things that will go along with the bao. So we have the quick pickle, really, really easy to do. High impact. We toasted some old sesame seeds, and then we have the cucumber to go along with it. And then the bao from go to woe, I mean, that was about 2 hours. Would have let them rise a little bit longer, but you can see that they've fattened up quite nicely. Fat bao. And then the rice. So let's try it. Let's see what all the fuss is about. You can actually, let's do this here. Yeah, that's how you want your bao. Oh, it's hot. So the way that we tend to do it is stuffing some pickle, some cucumber, and then some sesame seeds. Coriander was looking too sad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's how we would do it normally. So let's give it a whack. Man, I just love that stuff. It's so savory but so fresh at the same time. Man, yeah, you gotta try this. Don't be put off. It really is quite simple. Yep. You pretty much eat as many that are available to you. And then the veg. The sesame kind of plays off it, and then the sriracha just gives you, there's a bit of bite in there as well. Yeah. Good times indeed. Okay, well this is one we have to go and eat right now, otherwise it's going to be soggy and cold. So we'll leave it there. Thanks to everyone who watched. We hit, it's 2 hours 22 minutes. been good fun. Join us in 48 hours time for the showdown, the beatdown, the gingerbread nightmare. Oh, we have BTG 105. Can't understand the language. But welcome. Let me Google translate it.
So that is not a bow. You've brought shame onto the bow.
It's interesting how often we'll get. What are we making? Oh, Korean. I was going to say, it's like, it doesn't look like Chinese. So we're making bao. This is tofu, and sweet and sour tofu. We have stir-fried veg, and then we have quick pickle, just straight up jasmine rice, and then the bao themselves. We were talking about Korean cuisine not too long ago. Your bibimbap, your bulgogi, and I think, and maybe at some point, yeah, we get some cabbage, we'll try some kimchi. Yeah, because as far as it goes, Asian cuisine is what we like. I'm trying to remember. It's the Korean thing where you watch people eat.
Mukbang.
Yeah, mukbang. That's right, mukbang. This is not the channel for that. Man, it's good. I need some rice. But feel free to follow BTG. Jump into the Discord. I'd love to hear from Koreans. I'd absolutely. Because we do get a bit of Korean cuisine here, but it's more like co-Korean, so like Korean mashed with Japanese. Translate this. Good job. Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, feel free to join the community. We'd love to hear from you. We're done now, so thanks for all everyone who's participated.
No worries.
Yeah, thanks to Shelley. And follow if you haven't. We'll catch you again very soon. Bye for now.
For the showdown.